Welcome to StarFinder, the Fragments of Eternity, Session 17, Part 1. I finally said Part 1 in the Part 1. And then it is the 4th of February 2019. Roll20 is the best product in the world. Please do not ban me, please. Yeah, I'm Ryan, the GM. This is the game. Here are the players.
Hello, I'm Olka. I play Emmelyn, who is a Lyshon to pilot.
Hi there.
I did so well.
You did.
You did so well.
Then...
You were so softly spoken and everything. I was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm listening to a really chill book. Oh, it was fantastic.
Welcome.
I'm sorry.
I mean, we're not saying you ruined the intro, Nico. We're just saying that, you know, it's a 4 out of 10.
Just saying you bammed it up a little. I am Nico. I'm playing Zora, the Vest Captain, and I am sorry for everything bad I said about you last week, Roll20. Please do not hurt me with bad rolls again. Thank you.
May the dice be ever in your favour. Hi, I'm Alex, and I play Nix5, the android mechanic.
I like the hesitation. Mechanic! As it slowly gets more existential, your job title. Eventually
Yeah,
it'll just be
does.
ship's counsellor / priest.
It almost became monk as I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like traversing into like mad scientist, quite frankly.
Traversing after that session where they built the Conspiracy Craig's residual magic detection device. Yeah. Or whatever
It's
its name was.
a special combination of conspiracy and philosophy
Yeah.
that exists in the dark places of the internet.
Yep.
Welcome to I Am Colin.
Welcome to Colin.
Is it the independent Colin show? Yeah.
This is like the sequel to I Am
This
Legend
is
or
I will
something.
be playing the Lyko Quint.
God.
Just sneaking and spooky.
It should have been and spook. Because you are more of a spook now, let's face it. Okay, cool.
Hi, I'm Calum. I'll be playing Zigg. I am the Zigg.
He held it so well.
Hi, I'm Calum. I'll be playing mystical space rat that you either love or you don't.
Oh. Hashtag
Good night.
Calum is
I'll
precious.
see you next week.
And that's the show.
Yeah,
Thanks
I hope
everybody.
everybody enjoyed. Like and subscribe, post comments in the comment bit where you can post them, and I'll see you all for a game. Goodbye. Weirdly, as well, I think it's just because maybe we're just all giddy because we really enjoy each other's company, and it's not that this game has become mildly traumatic.
Over.
And
It's the cocaine.
yeah,
It's the drugs, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Mondays.
the Mondays. How does it feel? Oh.
Drugs in years. 2 years, but that's still years.
Right, so who remembers what happened last time on the Fragments of Eternity?
We opened,
Goblins.
A drink?
Wow.
opened the door to the lift,
Mhm.
and then there was things, and then we closed the door because it was bad.
lost the goblins!
They were on fire.
goblins!
We opened the door to hell itself, right? And it absolutely slapped us in the
That's what you're
face.
telling the rest of the party.
We did like it's so adorable. We did no damage.
Our
We
war
did
hero
zero.
was heroic.
Oh man.
Oh, it's so
We nearly died.
I was hot.
It's like, have you all seen The Incredibles? Right? Like, do you know Dash, when like they fall out of the plane and like they're in the ocean? And he's like, we're dead! We're all dead! Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like this is Zora right now. Oh dear. But yeah, so he's got out of that though. He's hit the button on the elevator, the, you know, extinguishers put out Zora, and then he's went up to the CEO floor.
I'm hurt.
Mm.
I'm hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm a little
Yeah,
bit
you are.
sizzled.
Yeah, you damn right you are. But yeah, so that was you guys. What about the? I would say the the Bravo team, but I really just mean Lyko.
I
We're-
like to think of myself as the Bravo team. Yes, I was with a fellow, well, former co-worker, I suppose. Chakos, as her surname is sometimes pronounced.
Ephra. Or
Yeah.
Elfra.
Ilprak.
Elfrak.
In a bar to discuss matters of a batter court, which we did
Yes.
in a bar.
Did. Do you remember the bar's name?
I mean, honestly, there are only so many things I can remember.
That's true, but is the bar name one of them?
No.
Let me just put PC
Winded
in
monkey. I
PCs.
don't know.
It was the Thoughtful
Are monkeys
Fox.
canon?
Yeah.
The Thoughtful Fox. There you go. Yeah, that sounds like a proper like cop bar. There we go. The Wounded Monkey is not.
I do enjoy that's interesting, though, the Wounded Monkey, so that's
Yeah, that if you want to use that, that's copyright. Colin surname redacted.
Colin's surname, yeah. My surname is surname. Yeah. Okay, yeah, sure. So you were in a bar, the Thoughtful Fox, which is like an off-duty steward's bar. Yep. By the stewards we mean the space police. Yep.
Their discussion sort of not cleared the room, but cleared the tables around us a little.
Yeah, people just were like, "Oh God,
they're
they're
overhear this."
Yeah, they're talking about sensitive materials I don't want called up on. But yeah, and what about Nick's 5?
I went and read many interesting things. And had some existential doubt.
Yeah.
Questioning the state of really how any of us exist. Particularly the robots and androids, and we paid good money for it.
Yeah.
And we didn't even look up any information about dragons.
I mean,
So
yeah.
I'm quite disappointed with.
I mean, you weren't clearly. You should have said you wanted dragons.
And to be fair, you did peel off from them, so be like,
Wow.
could go with these two, and I know what they have done in the past together, or could go to pub. Pub with sexy drow lady.
Yeah, go to the pub with the elf girl.
Always leave us to our own devices. It always goes well.
Yeah, but then you come
Oh,
back with
and-
more
and
devices.
I did lose the rat.
Generate comedy.
I don't know if that's your fault or if it's the rat's fault. Like,
I left him unattended.
yeah.
Both.
So Zigg, where did you leave
Yeah,
you?
well, Zigg's died now and gone presumably to hell, as far as I'm aware. No, yeah, Zigg went and looked at a little pool. It was really nice, and he's got sucked into the pool, and then Edgar, Bedgar, Zedgar,
Oof.
whatever.
I don't think you
Gur-
can handle Bedgar.
is just showing up and be like, "Oh God, thank God it's you," and I'm like, "Oh God, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh no." That's what my brain's doing.
It's accurate, yeah.
Yeah.
Time.
That's basically what happened.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much where we left everyone. Before we jump straight back into the action, how's everyone's? I would say week, but it's been less than a week. So how's everyone's handful of days been?
Several.
Same actually. Yeah. What about you, Olka? Anything exciting happening since last we spoke on Wednesday?
If it did, then I forgot about it.
Okay, Nick, Nico even? Nick, why did I call you Nick? The
I
fuck.
don't know.
Let's just start the whole thing again, right?
Fuck.
Hi, this is Ryan, the GM of StarFinder, the Fragments. Dear God.
This is not a Sunday, so my Sunday name does not apply.
Yep. Also, hi Nick, I guess. Yeah, hello Nick, if you're listening.
hi,
Yep.
hello, Nick. Hi,
Yeah.
hi.
Weird.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, you.
Wow. You're on
Nah,
first
not
name
really.
terms.
You, Nick.
The bell tolls. It's not for you, the bell tolls, it tolls for you.
So Nico, much happened since Wednesday.
Not really. Couple of days off. Worked most of the weekend. That's about it, really.
What about you, Alex?
Yes.
Is there a Jeans Saga conclusion?
I think so. I think I've just about figured out how to put them on without tearing them.
I mean, half of our audience is here for this story, so I mean...
I can confirm. Actually, I meant to tell you last week. I got the money back on Wednesday.
Awesome.
But I didn't realise I got the money back because I had spent exactly the same amount of money in Tesco. So everything netted off, and I'm none the better.
Did you not notice that while not losing money, you had gained shopping?
No, because that got eaten very quickly.
I mean, is it nice and cool under all that shade you're throwing there, Colin, or?
Always cool where I am, baby.
Frigid maybe, but yeah. Okay.
Wow.
I know, wow. Savage. Colin? Nice wee segue over there.
I went to a wrestling up on the Socky Hall Street. It was actually a wrestling thing, it wasn't just violence. I know with Socky Hall Street you're
It's a 50-50 sometimes, isn't it?
So that was nice. I decided because I didn't have much money, I would get mostly Jack and Coke rather than spend £4 odds on beer or cider. As a result, I think I had more to drink than I intended, and I'm a slightly hungover Colin today. But I had a good night.
Good.
Work's been alright. Yeah, it's been alright. I did some stuff. There were things. It's been good. I think I mentioned last time I was on that I booked a tattoo because it was the afternoon before that I'd booked, because obviously this would be the evening and I'd booked it in the afternoon, so I'm sure I did mention that. That is chronologically how the day tends to progress. Afternoon, evening.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel better about my groceries now.
Calum?
I'm still sick, but I'm more vocally capable, which is good.
You do sound a lot better.
I
sound a lot more capable.
I don't particularly feel much better, but I'm aware that I am better.
Oh,
which
that's
is nice.
Good. Yeah.
What else? I watched the most boring Super Bowl on the planet.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my!
Is this
sweet
the Patriots
Lord
versus
Jesus.
the Rams?
I have
That
heard some
was
theory over that.
fucking awful.
I don't watch a lot of football. I've only recently started even trying, but yeah, I tried to watch that.
It was dire. And then Maroon 5 came on and just were so shit. They were shit. And then they turned around and said, oh my God, right. They turned around and said, now for a musical genius who needs no introduction. And then some guy was there. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I don't know who this guy is.
That's like when people used to come to like TNA from WWE and they didn't know, like, legally, can we use the name he used there? Let's just you don't need to know who this is, you already know them. Like, oh, thank you. That's what that is essentially.
So who was the music guy?
I've no idea.
He never told you.
It was just some guy who just spoke into a microphone for a bit and then fucked off.
Okay.
Tune in next year for our Super Bowl review.
Yeah, I mean, here we go.
Superstar DJ.
Here we go.
And then I woke up on the couch. And that's how bored I was. I fell asleep on the couch.
I was so bored I woke up. Amazing.
You wanted to. And then Serge Tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't. It would have been more interesting.
That would be way more interesting. I'd be way into that.
I mean, yeah, sign me up, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't get Adam. What's it? Is that what's
Levine.
his name?
Adam Levine.
It is Levine. I would have preferred Avril Levine.
Yeah. Or both.
Yeah.
Duet.
Yes.
That's not a straight boy thing. I ain't a straight boy. But it would have been infinitely preferable because Avril was great.
I'm not a straight boy from a straight family.
I'm not. Well, I am a straight boy to you, to be fair. But
Wow, just outing everybody, eh?
Wow. Yes. That's what the
the wizards.
I mean, users, write in the comments who you think they are.
Users.
Don't do the thing with the brag.
Warning: incoming game. User wins.
No!
Dun 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 dun. Just to, like, you know, have everything piled on top of it. And if I could do the Sonic underwater death music, I would, but I
asked you this
can't.
before.
Sorry, what was that?
What is the shed?
What is the shed?
Exactly.
That's one of my 400 bands.
Yeah, but what is the shed, right? Like,
Well, like existentially.
What is the shed? The
is
shed.
there a shed?
No, there is a shed. Yeah.
Oh,
And it's got a little bar in it, and it's got a fireplace, and
It's like a fire hazard, a
Shit,
bar and a
it's
fireplace in a shed.
Old
Like,
man's shed's got a bar in it. So we're like, oh, great.
That's what we want to hear.
okay. I think that's a nice wee pre-game. Thank you guys. Yeah. Let's jump straight into the game now.
I'm just gonna say while I'm still
Mhm.
remembering, because I will forget otherwise,
Okay.
is that not next week, but in 2 weeks, I will not be here. And also
Oh.
next week will be a tight one as well. Now that I think of it.
I will be away on the 18th.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
feel like I
I'm
want to do all
away.
this scheduling when I need to start a game. Let's
Yes, sorry.
Post all that
sorry,
in.
I just wanted
Let's-
to bring
I
it.
would've
'cause of-
forgotten.
post it all in the roll
I'll
call
forget.
chat.
Yes.
Post it
that's
all
good.
there so I can
Okay.
schedule stuff there. Yeah, cool. Yeah, but no, good to know. But definitely spend the now time to go type all that into roll call for me, and I'll describe the opening, shall I? Well, the big Fragments of Eternity StarFinder logo shows up out of nowhere, right, in space, and the camera kind of pans down onto a kind of barren-looking planet. There's quite a lot of ships leaving this planet, almost like a kind of exodus, as it were, and we kind of do that kind of cool camera swishy zoomy thing as it goes in between all the planets without kind of bumping into them, dodging away all the way to the surface, and the place just looks like chaos, like a big battlefield. And we kind of like fade straight into the ground, and then it does that thing where it goes black and fades up on a figure wearing kind of flowing, kind of windswept looking purple robes. The figure kind of walks forward. You don't hear any footsteps though, and it's approaching like big kind of elaborate kind of looks like really highly polished stone doors, and then it starts speaking a language that we don't get any subtitles for, and then the kind of the walls all start to glow, and it shifts and spins, and then opens, and it cracks open, and inside there's just lots of kind of glowing crystals, kind of like just slowly kind of like pulsing, with kind of various coloured lights inside them. It's almost like if you could imagine like a massive kind of vault of stone full of these kind of crystal growths, if you will, all throughout the kind of like long corridor, and it just goes off into like the distance, into the darkness, if you will, beyond vision. And then we get that camera angle of it switching perspectives from inside the doorway, looking back at the figure that's silhouetted against the light behind them, and then we cut back to Lyko.
Reality, there goes gravity. Anyway, yes.
So you just stare at Shakos with her her toothy grin. Remember the last thing she said?
It was about the theft. Yes.
Yeah, there was a theft from the vault in Abadar.
What did I say to that?
Just make a move instead. You don't even talk to her about it. Just like, so do you have your apartment still?
No. Yeah, that's because that is was it her we heard that from, or was it?
You heard it from a couple of people actually. So
Yes,
you heard it from Eskate as well.
We did hear it from her. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if
we hear
Himani said it.
Yeah, I feel like we did hear it from the dragon as well.
Yeah, I think Himani said it as well.
So that's the.
If not, you
question.
definitely heard it from Eskate, because I know Eskate told you that.
Which I mention. I think it's Esky. I say, yeah. I'll say something to the effect of that. Let me formulate my wording. Yeah, we heard something about that from an inside source. shit-eating grin.
She kind of like screws up her nose a little, as if, you know, that's not fair. And then she kind of like pulls back and leans back on the chair, and then just like tips over her empty glass, and just stares at you. A bit like a cat would, you know, that way where just like tips it over.
I sort of, as is becoming a trope among my characters, shrug. But Lyko is a bit more theatrical with his shrugging, and he's sort of like a oh, what you gonna do kind of shrug, and say, yeah, well, the line of work, you meet some interesting people. This person in particular was actually involved in the incident I was inquiring about.
Like you see her eyes go a bit wider at that. Like she's kind of, it's harder to fake the kind of disappointed look now, and it's because obviously she's putting on the act of, oh, don't tell me then, you know, so you'll tell her. But as soon as you say more of that, like her eyes start to get wider, as if she can't hide the fact that this is super interesting.
Because I think, as I recall, she'd sort of leant into me to say that at the end. I assume.
Well, she'd leaned in, but she's
like, going to withdraw and.
No, she's already pulled back. So she pulled back after she tipped the glass forward. Yeah.
Okay, that is how I was interpreting. I would lean in slightly and see if she.
Yeah, and if you hold it for like a half second, yeah, she will. She'll lean in. She gets the cue.
Furler.
And she leans in more.
Name? No. he chuckles. The name, Furler.
And she kind of like tilts her head to the side slightly as if she's trying to like recall, and she does that thing where she looks up to the left and has her tongue stuck between her teeth, like, like, That doesn't ring a bell.
I didn't know her either, but she's obviously someone with powerful friends and equally or possibly more powerful enemies.
Like she kind of like looks up at you, like from like by the time you've started talking, maybe like you're like doing that thing where you look wistfully, waving your hand, like equally or possibly more powerful enemies, and you look back at her and you realize she's on like her data pad, looking up this person. And she just types in further, and then she like tries to search. I think that's the first time I've ever said her name first time, and then she starts to like scan as if she's looking for it, and then she like looks up as if you're saying that, as if she's getting kind of excited, like, oh, this is a mystery. Ooh, this has got like way more interesting.
Noticing that she's looking at her sort of for the name, I'll give her the full name. Say, Furler S. Kate. That's a comma between, obviously.
And she looks and she's like, And she looks back at the data pad and she obviously types in as if she's retyping the search parameters. And she looks and she's like, there's an Isabel further in the data pad.
Huh.
Or database, I guess you would say. Yeah, database. Just in the data pad. Let me out. But yeah.
What have you got on her?
She just slides the data pad across the table. You pick it up, and it's there's like an employee file from Aberdare Corp, and it says Isabel Further or Further. Fucking hell. Yep.
Why did you choose a name you can't pronounce?
I'm gonna keep it forever, and then because one day I'll get it. So yeah, Isabel Further. It says rank S. Kate. Under and everything else is redacted, even her image file.
That's interesting. Kate is rank. I don't think I've ever encountered that before, but hey, at least I can put a name to a face now. I mean,
right, she actually just taps the data pad where the picture's missing. No, but there isn't the picture.
Yeah, well, I've seen her. You know.
Where?
First time on the station. The incident where the Aspis vehicle was attacked.
And she kind of looks at it and she's like, do I think there was an official Aspis incident? She kind of like mockingly like kind of flicks her wrist as if she's getting dust off of it.
Yeah. Anyway, you know, well, last couple of years I've been working with a crew. We have taken some work from an individual quite high up in the Aspis Corporation.
She just
Not, of
like as
course,
soon as you
from the
say that,
corporation
as soon
itself.
as you say Aspis Consortium, she just kind of goes like as if the fuck. So she just starts like blowing kind of like raspberries in a kind of shocked expression, be like, Lyko.
Hey, if I didn't play both sides of the law, I wouldn't be any use to you guys anymore. So,
And you can see she's about to make a joke and then thinks better of it.
yeah. So, evidently, one of the individuals that worked.
She puts her hand up and she's like, kind of does that kind of
Yeah.
stop. She just looks around casually. She's like, let's go somewhere else.
I'd do the same, and no, maybe like face lingers, like my eyes linger slightly. Face lingers. That's amazing. Eyes linger slightly.
Do you
longer,
have to let it
patrons,
linger?
maybe. Like, if there's anyone in there that I sort of recognise or half recognise, I'd be like, yeah, maybe she's right. And yeah, Lyko would. I suppose he probably acknowledged her. Yeah, it's like, all right, where are you thinking?
And she just kind of speaks up, let's just go for a walk. And then she like just walks out.
I follow.
She as she walks past God, the fuck was his name?
Gothak.
Yeah. As she walks past Gothak, thank you for remembering.
I looked it up earlier.
Yeah, so she walks past Gothak and she kind of like rubs his arm a bit, and he kind of just like kind of grumps like as she walks past, and then she steps out into like the kind of more open part of the station that's outside the bar itself, and then she kind of just like she does walk, but in that slower way because she knows you've still to get out and catch up with her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she kind of like lingers a bit for you to catch up, face and all.
I will follow, face and all.
Excellent. So yeah, and she's like, let's go to the park at level 1. Yeah, and then she just kind of like starts walking.
I continue to follow.
So yeah, you start walking away, and we fade out from you, and then we fade in with Nick's 5.
Oh dear.
So, do you remember the last thing that happened to you?
Your friend is missing.
Yeah.
I think we just got to that is the correct question moment.
Yep.
And then Zigg is gone.
Yep. So you've noticed Zigg's no longer in this room,
And I had asked, where's my friend?
and that's when he replied, "Now that is the question." So what does Nick say back to that? Just pulls gun, shoots man, shoots room.
I wish. I really wish. It's the easy solution usually. But not the next solution. What are those pools?
And then the figure stands there and just kind of like turns around and goes, "What pools?"
Can you not see what I perceive?
The room adjusts, and he kind of like nods as he says adjusts.
Who does it adjust to?
He smiles, and he's like, "The knowledge seeker."
But my friend entered with me. Did he see the same thing?
And he kind of like he smiles again, but like he holds it for that bit longer and is kind of comfortable, or like he's clearly like really pleased you've achieved something like in that moment, but he's no way letting on what it is that you've actually achieved. And and then he kind of just kind of laughs a bit and kind of like rubs like the bridge of his nose, and he's like, and you see like his fingernails are all like kind of like that kind of platinumy color, and they've all got the weird kind of like almost circuit boardy lines that all go down back into like his hand, and like every now and then there's like little tiny pulses of white light that trace them, and it's quite like elaborate and quite pretty. And he kind of like pinches the bridge of his nose, and like the LEDs go. Maybe the only reason you see them is because the bright white LEDs close as he blinks, and he kind of looks back up at you, and then he puts like a hand on your shoulder, and it's the weirdest, like almost what's the word? Like the pins and needles. See when like the sensation of like heat and touch comes back straight away, and you get that really horrible tingly feeling. But like, do you know when like your foot falls asleep and you need to do that thing where it's actually weirdly sore to stand on, but you know it's not sore, you know it's not pain, it's just sensation. So you have that if you know you don't move away from them, obviously, as he touches your shoulder.
Given that it's not actual pain, yeah, I think
it's just like, it's like a really bizarre like sensation, and it doesn't go away. It just seems to be like pulsing from him, but it doesn't seem to be spreading. It's just like that area of your shoulder where he's kind of holding onto it, like in a kind of gripping, reassuring kind of way. And he says, "What are you looking for?"
I think now I'm looking for my friend.
And he kind of like nods like once, and like a kind of relatively serious looking face. Or maybe more stoic than serious, because he's obviously been kind of smiley before, so like he's not as smiley now, and he's kind of just nods once with his kind of platinum stubble that he's got, and his bright white LEDs, and that tingly shoulder. Like, it kind of feels like if you had to try and like move your arm, like it would be that bit less responsive than you'd be used to, you know.
I think I just walk over to the pool at that stage.
Yeah, so you walk around the kind of weird arch bench kind of thing that had the word query written on it, and as you walk towards you walk up the kind of the white path, and yeah, there's a pool of white liquid and that weird kind of featureless tree. And he's like, if you look back as well, you see the archway, and then behind it, he's just standing there, kind of looking at you.
What happens if I touch it?
Touch what? Are you asking me, the GM, or asking the man?
Asking the man, sorry.
And he kind of like tells you, goes, touch what?
Slow blink of the LEDs from next.
Yeah.
And I figure out the quickest way to find out is to touch it.
Yeah.
So I will reach out to it myself.
You put your hand in, and like the kind of the white water kind of washes over it. And it does it like it feels like you've put your hand in liquid. Yeah.
Beef?
Yeah, I know. It's been playing in my head. And you do that, so you put your hand in the water and it kind of washes over you. And then you see, like, when you're looking at your hand, do you want to give me some kind of perception roll, please?
Yeah, let me see.
I say that because for some reason my brain will never remember the actual names of any of the skills in this system.
It's actually perception as well.
Yeah, good.
They couldn't steal all of them. They could steal
some.
Well, they couldn't find a synonym for perception, apparently.
I really like the notice rule. I always liked notice because it's such a good catch-all term.
Yeah, 5e's got investigation too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a great roll.
Well, it's good enough though for this.
Yep.
So
I just mean given that I've got a +9.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not a 20 or a 1 though, so I'm impressed.
That's a change.
Yeah, it's like a distinctly average roll in terms of like what you're normally used to. And again, somehow the first roll of the session, which is always good. Probably should have put session starts, but let's just type that now. I'll probably just type in session 17 started. Right, okay. With that as well, you look down at your hand and you see your fingernails are all there, and they've got like the plating that makes up the nail itself. And then you slowly see all those lines that you saw in his hand just slowly like show up, just very faintly. and you see this slight tiny green pulses as they shimmer. And you're not sure if it's like maybe like a trick of the light, the way like obviously you're staring at it, so your LEDs are reflecting in the pool of water, and maybe it's tracing along these lines, or what. But like it definitely distinctly looks like what his hand looked like. Only your kind of version of it, your kind of greenish version. But that's it. Like your hand's just in water.
Yeah. Can I see how deep the pool is?
No, because it's like a kind of whitish water.
Yeah.
Just like the kind of weird white. Like imagine looking into like just milk. It's like looking into just milk.
Well, I figured that this is all a simulation of sorts, so I kind of want to touch my face to it.
Yeah.
And see what it looks like underneath it.
Okay. Can you give me a will save?
Oh no. You would have thought that would go bad.
Yeah, so just type like will save. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Yeah. 1 or 20. Oh.
Wow, no. That.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you just put your hand in. Notice some weird lights on your hand. Pull your hand out and just dunk your head in. And
it's a simulation. It's safe. Totally.
Yeah. So as soon as we do that, we just see like maybe from like inside the liquid, you just see your face plunge in and your LEDs blink out, and then we cut from you. And then we go to a big beautiful forest, big open clearing. In the distance, you got a beautiful kind of like rocky formation and a big waterfall crashing down behind it. You hear the kind of the gush of the water. You see the kind of spray mist come up from behind, and then in front of the, you've got a desk, and a figure sat behind the desk. And we're with Zora and Emmelyn.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Hi there.
And just remember where you were left off.
Well, I'm hot. I remember seeing what's her name again? Is it Michelle?
Michelle Yeoh?
Yeah, cool.
You mean
Cool.
Michelle Yeoh playing
I mean
the
Emma
CEO?
Narakis.
The CEO Emma O. Narakis, yeah. Yeah.
CEO BA Baracus.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And do you remember what she said to you?
I actually don't know.
I don't either.
It was
Sorry.
something along the lines of, who are you or what are you doing here? Or how did you get here?
How did you get here or something? I don't remember that.
It was like the frowny face, how did you get here?
Kind of question mark.
Basically, eh?
Exactly.
Was the gist of it. Yeah.
What the hell are you doing here?
It wasn't even I don't think it was as emotive as that either. It was just more like I don't want this. And as I said, there's a big distance between you guys. Yeah. So yeah, what did you do? Because like you're in a lot of pain, right?
Yeah. I would
As
think that.
like you don't feel as bad now, but you've got that kind of crispy effect where like the steam's probably still comically coming off of you, and like you've maybe got like flame foam on you as well.
Probably holding a wound of some kind. Burn, probably. Probably hurts. Hurts. Wincing a little bit.
What are you carrying right now? Is it your Josh or is it your gun?
Gun.
It's your gun, yeah. And Emily, are you holding your gun as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've just walked into this person's office. Air quote office. And like you look around and it's that nice like very crisp fresh air breeze that you get. There's obviously like trees. If you listen closely you can hear like there is like animals and stuff in the distance. Like yeah. And this gush of water from behind her. And you kinda like maybe it takes you aback a bit to be like, the fuck? While also being like, you've just walked into her office and you've got guns, and she's like, how did you get here?
We need help. We're hurt. There's goblins.
Like, the camera moves to her eyes. She narrows her eyes. The camera moves back to you guys. There's still steaming flame retardant foam coming off of Zora. And then, yeah, so she kind of, like, she stands up, and then, like, the desk just is gone. Like, it's as if there was never a desk there. And then, yeah, so she goes to, like, make motions to walk forward, and you can see now, like, she's got that kind of, as I said, I showed you the picture of her last time, and she's got, like, kind of black, tight, almost corporate-looking sci-fi cool clothing all the way down to, like, just past her backside, but then, like, her legs seem to turn from, like, a kind of, like, trouser material into black glass that kind of goes straight down, and it looks like almost like onyx-looking legs. So as she walks, you hear the clack on the floor, even though it's like grass and dirt and that underfoot, and you hear it as if glass on metal every step that she takes to close the distance between you and it. I mean, it takes a good maybe like 40 seconds or something for her to walk all the way up to you guys, but there's just this slow walk of clack, 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 and as she gets closer you notice that her legs turn from looking kind of biological into this black glass. What do you do?
I mean,
I think Emmelyn would like look around and almost to herself she'd say, "What is this place?"
Okay, yeah. Sure. Are you saying that out loud or just into like yourself, like
out loud, but not with the intention of
not
anybody
aimed at
else.
anyone? Yeah, just
Not
like
aimed at anyone,
where am
just
I?
in general.
type
What
vibe,
the
yeah.
fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems very valid, to be honest. And then, like, by the time you've had that thought, she's right in front of you, kind of looking at you. And, like, she does that thing where she's looking into your eyes and scrutinizing you and kind of, like, taking the measure of you. And it's really quite, like, invasive, right? Like, she's really close. Do you say anything at that point, or...?
I would probably say, well, I'd probably, like, kind of, well, drop my gun, you know, like, to a more peaceful position.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably just...
Do you both want to roll perception for me as well?
Oh, okay.
Just write eyes if you have to. Cool. Eyes. There's actually an optician's on Absalom Station. Wow, for days. Yeah, okay. Right, so see all the kind of surrounding trees and such, and like rocks and various parts of the ground and stuff. You notice she's the light source for this place. All the shadows move with her. You both notice this. Emmelyn, you spot this straight away. The clacking of the crazy feet doesn't really bug you, but the light moves on her. She's not like blinding in any way. She doesn't look like she's giving off light, but she is the source of the light of this place.
Almost like it's illuminated so that she may see it.
Thanks, Muttley.
You are
Oh dear.
But yeah, after bringing my gun down, I'd say, I apologise for the intrusion. Perhaps you might want to get some security into your... What is...
And then, like, she just, like, at this point, like, so as you're saying this, you're kind of speaking at the back of her, because she's just looking over at Emmelyn, like, really, like, inquisitively. And then as you say, like, you think you're probably sorry for the intrusion, maybe you should get some security, and she just turns around and looks you up and down, like, a really, like, sharp look. And this is the look like a warrior you've seen across the battlefield's given you, Zora. So this is like a, oh god, who's pulling the trigger first type move. And then she just looks and goes, yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, what is the... Is he the EXO? Like, what is...
She's the
what's
CEO.
Edgar's?
Oh, is it him?
What is Edgar's...
He was
position?
acquisitions.
Okay. Not for us. Your acquisitions officer's currently getting kidnapped by fiends.
By
He has
fiends.
been
Astral fiends.
he has been acquired.
We have a wormhole.
Acquisitions department has been acquired. Yeah.
Fiends.
Right, do you want to roll deception? Because you are lying.
Oh shit, I'm in there. I mean, I might see them as fiends. I don't know what a space goblin is, right? I've
Right,
not
okay,
been-
roll culture.
Okay, okay,
Give me a culture roll. We'll see.
okay.
Oh.
Yep. Fiends.
He
Fiends
didn't
entirely.
type it. He didn't type it.
I mean, do we want him to pass this?
There's fiends. I'm for the Viscarium. I'm not for this.
I think
Solar system.
things that aren't Vesk or people directly speaking to him where he knows what race they are enemies to Vesk, I think is the usual. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, some kind of enemy, probably fiends. Probably fiends. Yeah.
Fiends.
What's this? It's a can of beans. No, it's fiends. Right, okay, yeah. Interesting. Right, okay, so yeah. She kind of like looks at you and narrows her eyes and goes, fiends.
Yes, but
And like she
Yeah.
smiles at that, like as if you've just told someone some really like relieving news.
I think as after he says that, I'm just gonna go like, no, he means goblins.
And like she does that thing.
Goblins.
She does that thing where she stops and she like turns her head and like her hair falls over her shoulder and she like tilts it like, but she doesn't like change her body angle towards the Vesk. She just like tilts her head back to you as if, really, come on, honey, like that type of look back to you, and she just like rolls her eyes at you, as if. And she's kind of waiting for you to explain that more. If that like that's the look, because she's still like her eyes are still staring at you.
I think I'm probably looking at her like looking for an explanation as well. Like, goblins.
Yeah, I'm the one that said something crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, what does Emmelyn do to that? Filthy goblins.
Filthy goblins.
Sorry to all of our goblin audience, but yeah. Jess, you got
There's a
both
few
them.
of them. There's a few of them. They
And then she stops you there and she just butts in and she goes, yes, I believe they're a whole species.
he's being kidnapped.
I thought you said he had been kidnapped. She looks like
probably.
back to the Vesk.
I'll probably be like kind of looking up, like thinking out loud. He's probably kidnapped by a bit. But,
I like the idea that you're doing like kidnap maths. You look up and you go, oh, carry the one kidnap victim and then through the portal in
How long does it
if
take for him to drag that victim?
5
to
goblins and then...
next?
Kidnapping maths is a
How
high
many
school
maps do
course
you
in
need for a
Vescarum.
Well, yeah. It's like trigonometry, I guess. Just I'm sure there's a maths joke in there somewhere, but
I don't believe in maths.
well, yeah. But you can count on it.
Abjugation.
Right. So yeah, you're sitting there, and she kind of looks relieved, like, oh, it's goblins, you know. And she just kind of looks relieved. Goes, so you're telling me my acquisitions officer has been kidnapped by goblins?
Seemingly.
And she's looking kind of like incredulously between the two of you, like, who are you people? Goes, and she looks both of you kind of up and goes, is there a hierarchy here?
I mean,
Put my finger up.
I looked to the captain.
And she just kind of laughs, like with a big ha. But it's a laugh where you hear birds in the distance leave trees. So yeah, she's kind of one short, kind of very brief ha. And as I said, in the distance, birds flapping and flying away.
That's so funny.
And then, like, as you say that, like, you said to her, like, what's so funny? And she just looks at you, and she's like, you. And then she turns around and she looks, obviously, at Emmelyn, and she goes, you're interesting. You're just... And she kind of, like, shakes her head, like, her lips go really thin, as if she's trying to, like, work out what's the most insulting thing she can say right now. And then she looks up and she goes, don't even know if I care enough to think more on it. And she just turns back round to Emmelyn, and then she just strokes your face. And yeah, it's probably really fucking horrible, quite frankly. It's probably like ice cold.
Yeah, I'd definitely like move away and like slap her hand away.
Cool. Do you want to try and make an attack roll against her?
Sure.
Cool.
I have no stamina. Let's do this.
Cool. Now this is just to try and... What I'll do is, she has obviously made contact, so we'll just have you against her KAC, right?
Right.
And this is just to slap the hand away, right?
How do I make an attack?
An unarmed attack, it'd be what, strength? Do you want to just roll strength? And are you proficient with unarmed fighting?
No.
Then I think it's a strength and we'll take 4 off the result. Is that how it works? I think that's how it works. Because if you're not proficient, it's -4. So
Sure.
so you really click on your strength.
Oh,
That went great.
that was some good shit.
Nice.
Yeah, so -4. That's a -2.
So -2.
Yeah, you actually can't move your arm. Like, I think that's like, this is the, like, you go to move it, but like the touch like that she's got, like, you go to almost hit it away and you realise you actually can't bring yourself to touch her. And you can push through it if you want to give me a will save, but you don't need to. You can just accept the fact that your arm won't move. But if you want,
I don't think Emily would accept that.
do you want to do a wee will save and see if you can push through it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Do you want me to type a thing?
No, just hit will save. I'm on point just now. That's fine. I know what weird hand slap is.
Ah.
Cool. I'm gonna
Wow.
roll. I'm gonna roll its will.
Mhm.
Let's see. Where are we? I'm gonna turn it off private for now because I want just this to be open. And right, so if this will happens, yeah, something might happen and it's not great.
Great. Oh. Why?
Oh.
Whoa.
That was a good roll.
No, it wasn't.
No, it
What a
wasn't.
good roll.
It was a really bad roll.
That
Oh
was
yeah,
not
it was a
good roll.
+22 bonus. I hadn't even looked at what made that up.
Rip.
Nonetheless, it's a considerably higher number,
So
This is how I die.
as God once said.
so like you find there's no strength in your arm. You basically feel that tingle of like something's messing with you, and then you push like mentally and psychically. You push your very comfortable with psychic energy into your hand to try and like shake off whatever presence is there, and then you go to like lift it, and yeah, you feel as you're trying to like move your arm, you feel like as if someone's grabbed your wrist and arm and elbow and bicep and palm, and you feel it crush. Not enough to actually break anything, but you know if you kept pushing, it would break.
Mm.
And this is without her even moving. She's still looking at the vest while kind of stroking your face. This icy cold touch. Like someone that's just come in from playing a snowball fight.
Do you take to fondling your guests much?
And she's still staring at you. And she says, "You're not my guest. You are intruders."
We were guests of Mr. Wesland. Quite frankly, we tried to do your securities job, but apparently they're not very on point. Apparently I'm not on point today, but
She looks you up and down.
We had a bad day.
She turns back to you. And she kind of like wrinkles her nose and smirks, like kind of like, you know, like, oh, we've just baked cookies together, you know. But like then turns back, and that all that pleasantness kind of like fades instantly when she looks back at Zora. And she goes, she looks you up, and then she kind of like, she puts like a thumb up against your face, but like to hide like your eyes, and then she kind of looks at like your lower jaw as if she's trying to gauge who you are, and she's like, "You're the Abyss." She just does that noise of like complete disappointment, like.
I can understand that you don't like me. Quite frankly, I'm not much a fan of this place myself, but like...
Like, at this point she stops touching your face, Emmelyn, but she's still obviously talking with Zora. And then, like, she's holding like a kind of, again, like a black glass, like, you know, like flute of champagne, almost, but not of champagne. And she's just holding that out to you, like, as, like, maybe you just kind of notice it as you look back and her hand's still in front of your face holding this to you.
Like, to give it to
Yeah,
me.
like, so, like, where her hand was on your face, you've been paying attention to her speak to Zora, and she looks disappointed as she holds up her other hand to try and hide parts of his face and then go, "You're the abyss." But then maybe, like, when you realise there's something in front of you, and it's this black glass, like a champagne flute, and it's
Is there
held.
anything in it?
Yeah, there's liquid in it.
Do I recognise the liquid?
I mean...
Is it like something I can guess what it is, or is it
Yeah.
mysterious fluid?
Spin.
I was going to say, yeah, it's spin. You would recognise that easily because you've drank it before.
Okay.
So yeah, it's spin. And like, do you take it or do you ignore it?
I hesitate, and then I take it.
Yeah, and like as you take it, you realise that you slowly just start to like weirdly fall backwards into a seat. And it's like a fancy kind of almost like cocktail chair thing that you're now sitting in. And there's like, as you turn around, there's like a bar to lean on. So there's like this weird black onyx desk that's like quite raised up. You've just kind of like leaned back into a chair, and you have this kind of champagne flute. And she's kind of stopped interacting with you as if, "I'll get to you."
I'm in the waiting room.
Yeah, and she's just staring at Zora. As Zora was saying, obviously. And so finish what you were saying as you were making apologies for your condition.
Well, I mean, obviously I can see by her facial expressions that she's not too pleased with my presence. Racist, absent people that they are. At least I'm getting that feeling, you know. Don't really like the non-humanoids much. But yeah, I would probably just say I can understand that you probably don't like me. Quite frankly, I don't quite like this place myself, but we had some business to attend to with Mr. Wesland, and well, now he's gone, and we've ended up in this place.
Yeah.
Whatever this is.
And she's kind of like, just slowly narrows her eyes more, like, yes. And then she looks at you and she goes, "What do you plan to do about this?"
Well, I mean, your acquisitions officer getting kidnapped seems to not be my business.
I can get a new officer.
Yeah.
If you could acquire my previous acquisitions officer, perhaps you would like the job.
I do have some bones to be picking with those goblins.
You mean those fiends? She smirks.
Yes, fiends. Can't be goblins. They're too fiendish to be goblins.
She kind of rolls her eyes.
At
At this point, have you drank anything yet, Emmelyn?
I don't think so. I think she's contemplating. She's kind of looking at the glass and moving it about.
Kind of bemused at the fact that you're like now sat in like a bar, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking around a little bit, going, "What the hell?" Could I also be maybe trying to feel if I can get Hedgar,
Yeah, totally.
and if I can feel his vibes
Yeah.
inside?
How do you want to get him? You tell me. Because there's a couple of ways we could do this. We could try and will save him in. We could try and mysticism him in. Like, you tell me. I think will save to me makes the most sense to try and bring him in.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
She's almost like in her head. She's almost like you know how she talks to other people
Yeah, like almost like
in their head. She's almost like doing that to herself.
intertelepathy.
Yeah.
Self brain fuckery.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you want me to do a will save now?
Yeah, go for it. That could be the spin-off campaign, couldn't it?
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
Why?
I think
Why am I rolling so shit?
you do that,
It's so-
and
I said nothing about roll 20. I said nothing. Why am I being punished?
I think because it's obviously saving all that luck for Zigg, because Zigg probably needs it. It's okay, we'll get to you, Zigg. Don't worry, we're on our way.
No, that's fine. You take your time. You take your sweet time. I'm in no rush.
But remember
Coming
how
for you, Ziggy boy.
I get the results I really need though, like every single goddamn time. So good. But yeah, so you go, and maybe you're looking at the spin as it slowly swirls in the glass, and like you're looking at the top of it because it's like a black glass, and that makes you think instantly, Hedgar, and then you
Yeah.
focus, and you kind of like go into like the black of the glass just kind of expands around you, and you're in again this like spherical shape, which is like reflective black glass, and you just see her standing there. And then she's looking around as if, where am I? What do you do?
She's looking around.
Like, she's like checking the place out. You could say she's rolling perception.
You could say that.
I would never say that, but she might.
I'm rolling perception, she says.
Yeah.
You see, roll perception.
They see me rolling.
Perception.
How many
This is good
songs?
shit. Thanks, guys.
How many songs have we mentioned this
So many.
session so far?
Oh dear.
So many.
yeah.
I think I'm just. I'm looking for Hedgar, and he's not there clearly, but she is.
Yeah, so you're now in this
Somewhere.
weird like black orb space,
Ah,
and
why me?
and she's there,
Every
and she's
time.
like, "What is this?" You know, like she's looking around. Yep. There's actually roll perception for me. Give me another perception check.
Yeah. Type something.
Yeah, it's fine. Carry on. We like looking for Hedgar's good enough to follow this chain of events for me.
Yeah.
It's just when there's a constant stream of
Oh
things I
my
don't
God.
know. Oh my god, so bad, so bad.
Oh god.
Yeah, so
Bad all the way down.
I think you're just trying to look at her, and you're looking around, but you don't like maybe you don't pay too much attention to what's around you. Obviously, you can say, but she's just looking around, and then she like walks forward, and you hear the clack, clack, clack of her her glass feet, and she stops like halfway between the distance that was between you, and then she leans down and picks up something, and then she's just staring at this thing in her hand. What do you do?
I'm gonna walk over closer and see what she's looking at.
Yeah, so like you walk over, and she's looking at a mug,
You mug. Well, we all
and
know
it
it.
says
Yep.
it says universe's best dad.
As mine.
And then she kind of looks at you and looks at it.
I'm gonna reach out my hand as well, like when I say it. That's
Yeah, like
mine.
that's mine. Grab your hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then she kind of looks at it, and she looks at you and she goes, "This place was not made by you." And she just hands you absentmindedly like the cup, and just like sits it in your hand.
Who was it made by?
My former acquisitions officer. She looks
Former.
around.
Have you already given up on him?
He's already let himself be captured by goblins, you said. Like she's still not believing it, you know?
Yeah. I think I kind of smirk at that. Like, yeah, okay, she doesn't
Yeah.
believe me.
But it's also the fact that, like, if he's managed to let him get himself captured, you're getting the impression that she doesn't give a fuck about people that fail her. Like, you know. So, she kind of, like, is looking around, and then she walks to, like, one of the walls, but she just seems to keep walking. And you can tell she stops and, like, puts, like, her hands on her hips, and just starts staring at things. But there's nothing to stare at, there's just this, like, black glass dome. Kind of, I say dome, but I mean, like, it is a sphere, but you don't really see down, right? Because there's like there's a floor, when you need it to be there.
It's a semi-dome.
Yeah, it's a existential crisis. Here's where you keep your mug. Dome. Yeah.
It's where you keep your
Yeah.
mug.
So, yeah, what do you do?
He was helping me, I think.
She, like, turns and you hear, like, the glass on glass scrape from her feet as she, like, pivots on them. And it's awful. And, it really, like, it resonates because obviously this is a, massive, well, all the sound will be bounced straight back to the centre where you are. And it's just this horrible cacophony of scraping and glass screeching. And she kind of stops and looks at you. Helping? With what? With that? And she just points at the mug.
In a way. Yes. With that.
And she looks at you like almost like confused and angry. Look like, in a way? What other way is there? There's a yes or there's a no.
I smirk. Something happened on one of our missions, and he was helping me figure it out. The mug's related to that.
Are you willing to share this information?
Why would I?
Why would I keep you alive?
If you wanted to kill me, you already would have.
Correct, I don't. You have information. It's interesting. Are you willing to share it? She's very like, this is super business corporate bitch mode. Like hands on hips, etc. She's serious when her hands are on her hips.
What would you like to know?
She kind of like looks up and around, as if like kind of like looking at like the edges of this kind of dome thing, and she looks back at you and goes, everything. And we cut from you, and she smirks as she says everything. In that impression though, can you give me sense motive? And I'll tell you a bit more about that if we do well. Come on. Come on.
I mean, they've been going up from 2 to 6 to 10.
I mean, yep.
So I'll go up in 4s. So this one's going to be 14.
I mean, it'd be great
do
if
you
it
want me
was.
to type anything?
No, carry on. I'm still looking for Edgar. Still a good enough heading for this.
Yeah.
It's much better.
Finally.
You don't get much other than you think she might just have killed you moments ago out of sheer frustration. Like, you get the impression that her capabilities instantaneously from the fact that you tried to move your arm and nearly broke it. Like even like your telekinetic powers were racing through like your arm, not just your telepathic powers, and they nearly broke. So you can tell that she has an incredible mind, just fundamentally. So you could probably imagine it wouldn't take her long to just kill you. However, the impression you get based on that, you don't get much from her other than, I nearly died here, but she seems to be offering for the information. Otherwise, she'd just have killed you, right? But she's a businesswoman. So you're left with that as she says everything and smirks. And we cut. As that happened though, she's still staring at Zora. In the actual world, I guess. Yeah, that'll do.
Yes, and I didn't witness any of this.
No, this was all in Emmelyn's head.
But yeah, I assumed.
Yeah. Zora sat there with popcorn like,
what's happening?
But yeah, so she's staring at you, and obviously she's basically just said to you about how maybe if you can get him back, you can, obviously.
Yeah, it would have been out loud sort of thing. Well, kind of out loud saying I do have some bones to pick. What's your proposition? I mean,
return my property. And she like as you say that, like, do you react when she says the word property at all, or because I mean, is she still talking about Edgar at this point?
Nah, I mean,
are you cool? You cool with whatever? Just, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
new job. Yep. Crew need to eat. So,
I mean, see, to be honest with you, I mean, like, property, Viscarium.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Like
legal slavery in the Viscarium. Yeah.
It's pretty much just shrugging and be like, ah, fair enough. So that's the way you see him. But Matty, judge, I guess. He got himself into that position.
Mhm.
I don't judge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, working free.
She smiles. It's the first time you feel like she's actually smiled at you, as if she's impressed. You know, when you say work ain't free, you can almost feel the capitalism bleed from her. And and she smiles. She goes, "Now there is an employee," and we cut from you, and we fade all the way over to Zigg. Do you remember where we left you, Zigg?
Well, I'm at the bottom of an imaginary pool, and Edgar's there, or Zedgar. I don't know who he is. I know he's a Edgar of some description. And he's like, thank goodness it's you. And I'm like, oh shit, why is that a good thing? So that's my life.
Yeah. So like,
Roughly.
what like? You get pulled into the white pool, but then you get pulled out of like an inverted black pool that came from like a ceiling, and you fell into like a dark room. And then you kind of look up, and Edgar's there. You can see him with your kind of dark vision, and he's all kind of dishevelled and clothing all kind of like ripped and torn, and like he's kind of a bit scruffy looking, and he's like, you know, like, good. I got someone, basically was his words, or something to that effect. And obviously that's where we'd faded. So we fade in with you, pretty much like picking yourself up off the floor, and like Edgar picking himself up off the floor, and kind of looking you over, be like, where are the others?
I think he'd do that. Zigg would kind of do that thing where he kind of like looks around the room and like spins round in a circle. Just trying to
as you
take
do it,
in
like
roughly where he is.
Edgar just grabs you by like the lapels and like kind of violently shakes you, like as if like a frantic person would be like, where are the others? Where's the Vesk?
They went somewhere else.
And like you just look like Edgar looks like a broken man at that point, like the disappointment, the defeat in his face. Probably like, I would make you make a will save to see if it really unnerved you at the fact that he looks so like defeated, but I'm not gonna. But like,
Yeah.
he kind of like lets go of you and just kind of like falls to his knees in front of you, so he's still your height.
I don't know how to respond to this. This is Zigg's brain, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, what the Okay. I think Zigg would. He just wouldn't know what to do.
Is this
I don't
still
think he's
Zigg or
seen,
Calum?
like- This is both now. We're one and the same. I think he'd like put his hand on his shoulder and just
That really like fake kind of
Tap
there.
yeah,
Amazing.
and then just kind of have a look around, see if he can see anything of.
I wish
interest
inspiration was
where
a
he
thing in
lives.
this game, because I could just hand out inspiration for that if I could. God, it's such a good idea. But yeah, let's talk about that at the end of this game, maybe, about whether or not I'll just import inspiration in or not, because that's a cool idea from 5th edition, for good quality moments like that. But yeah, so you pat him on the shoulder a bit. Do you say anything? Or?
Yeah. No, I'm kind of using this moment to kind of see what's around, if anything, obviously. Just kind of get my bearings as to what sort of weird room this is.
Yeah, like you can't actually see much. The like from your, because it is dark vision you have, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, so you look around. The room isn't particularly big. It's quite enclosed. The walls look organic. And well, is your night vision, your dark vision, is it black and white, or is it? Does it say? Like, what does your actual dark vision say?
It doesn't actually. Hold on. Let me get my doodad up.
Oh my.
My dark vision says.
Nope, it just says that. So page 263 is where I need to go, because of course it is.
Yes.
Why would it be anything?
It just says the up to 60 feet in the dark. It doesn't really say anything.
263. Let's go find out about dark vision. Dark vision. Let's see.
Door.
It's black and white only.
Black and white only.
Yep. It's on page 263.
Ah, yes, right you are.
There we go. That's fine. Cool. So yeah, you look around. Everything's kind of this monochrome black and white. And you know, like, what's the best way to say this without totally freaking Zigg out? You know, xenomorph layers.
Right.
Like the kind of black organic tunnels.
Yes.
Yeah. Here. So you're in like a
okay.
kind of black organic kind of almost enclosed room. You can't see any kind of like ways out, and it's maybe like a 15-foot radius, like so 30 foot across.
Okay. I think you'd feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, because like there's no light at all in here. There's no light
Yeah.
at all.
So yeah, he'd probably look.
It's also
I'd
quite
say
like
look-
there's a humidity to the place as well. Like it's very horribly sweat in the air, kind of close environment. You know, very humid, like a really hot muggy day.
Yeah.
But inside with no light,
Gross.
like dry
Okay.
air.
Yeah, not a fan.
There isn't any fans
Yeah.
anywhere.
Not a fan in sight. Yeah, he'd probably half say to Edgar and half to no one, like, where are we? Just looking around.
And he kind of like stumbles
And
back.
still
and, like,
absent-mindedly patting him on the shoulder.
yeah, like as you're doing that, he kind of like falls back a bit. So he was like on his knees when he fell down to his knees. And he kind of like falls back onto his backside and just kind of like sits there, and just like has like one elbow on his knee, and then like kind of like has his head in his hand, and he's kind of like as if he's trying to process everything. So he's kind of fallen back from you a little. And he's like, the Fisk might have been able to help, but I got the rat. You just hear him say that.
I think he'd kind of just give him a disapproving look.
Yeah, like.
Like, hey, I'm capable.
But
It's probably wrong, to be honest.
do you say anything or?
I'd probably say under my breath, like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Because unless you're like trying to get his attention, he's not.
As
Yeah, because he's not paying attention to you. So if you're not trying to engage him, he probably won't hear you. But yeah, you can say it out to the
That's
room.
fine. Yeah.
That you're just as capable. Yeah. And then he kind of just. Yeah, he just kind of sits there in the dark with like muttering to himself. What does Zigg do?
I think he'd probably wait a wee while. There'd be like a big, lovely, kind of just awkwardy silence. Other than obviously the almost inaudible mutterings of Edgar, whatever. I think he'd probably just like plonk himself down next to him and just sit next to him and just look at him and like kind of tug at his sleeve. Awkwardly.
Yeah, so if you're tugging at his sleeve, like I think maybe after like 10 seconds of it, right? So you guys sit
Yeah.
there, and then you just maybe after a couple of seconds, you then just start like tugging on the sleeve. And then
Yeah.
after about 10 seconds of that, he does that thing where like he's got his back to you a bit, and then he just like tilts his head away from like his hand that's supporting it, and looks over at you. He's like, and he just like looks at you.
Where are we?
And his eyes narrow back to the Edgar you're used to. And he's like, I am not deficient, rat.
I'm not efficient either.
He just rolls his eyes. And like he goes to like lift his hand to his lips and then just looks really disappointed at his hand. Like that's probably where he would have taken a draw of his e-cig. Habits, you know. So he looks kind of like annoyed at that, and then he like kind of like pushes up from the ground and stands up, and then just like exhales like really loud, like someone trying to like vent their mental thoughts through their lungs, like ah, and like pushes his hands to the ground almost as if Get rid of the stress. Get rid of the stress. And you can hear him muttering to himself again.
Can I, like... Would I be able to, like, hear what he's muttering to himself, or...?
Let me double check, and we'll find out in a second. Right, so... I need to go look up... what page is this on, and why could I never find it? Languages page, anyone? It's
Which bit are you looking for languages?
a list of them.
Then it's page 40.
40, I was going the wrong way.
41, sorry.
Cool, let me find. Cool, tell me the languages you speak, Zigg.
The languages I speak are... Spawmin,
What?
Space Common.
Space Common.
Oh, thank you.
Yosoki, obviously, and really bad Castrovalian.
Badravalian, yeah.
Badravalian.
Can I play this game now?
Cool. So, no, you don't understand what he's saying. You just know it sounds uncomfortable. The words.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's maybe now you realise that it isn't that he's mumbling, you just can't quite grasp the form of the words.
Mm.
So yeah. And he kind of just stands there mumbling away to himself for a bit. Like after he's pretty much said he's not deficient and you said you're well, I'm not efficient. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just stands up, goes, ah! And just starts going, but like, you know he's actually saying words, you just can't quite hear them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let us see. What's happened?
What?
2 seconds. My screen made a thing.
Oh.
Oh, no, it's okay.
You made a beer.
It made a thing. It did a something.
Did a thing.
Right, okay. First thing, I'm getting kind of sick of his ignorance of me. He's just ignoring me and I don't like it. So I am going to just glow as bright as rattly possible.
Okay.
See if that gets his attention.
I mean, yeah, that's a thing you can do, right?
It is a thing I can do, but I've kind of lost the
Plot.
Why don't I have the... Well, I
So,
can't find
starlight
the
form.
thing I'm looking for.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
So you transform yourself into blazing starlight as a standard action. Your body sheds normal light in a 30-foot radius, and you gain the benefits of concealment, 20% mischance. Yeah, that one.
That one, yes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Can't find it. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah. So you start shedding that really, really brightly. As I said, it is in fact bigger, like it's brighter than the room size to contain it, right? So,
Yes.
like, you know, you hear like a hissing, as if a hot pan into cold water type hissing from the walls.
Oh, okay.
And he like quickly shields his eyes, and then you kind of see him start to just laugh. Like I say, you see him, but you hear him laughing. Like maybe you have to shut your eyes really quickly because this is bright light, obviously, versus your dark vision that your eyes have adjusted to.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm gonna see if I can work out how this fucking move works. Right, quickly find his character sheet. Let's see, where is his character sheet? Here it is. Right. And click the button for the thing. Right. Let's have a look, shall we? So, he has this ability to absorb light.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
You can ignore any reference to not Edgar, since all references are for Edgar. Right, okay, so let's see. Your caster level would be 3, right?
Yes.
So it's a DC 14. A DC 14 what? Does that even say?
In terms of level check,
I mean, I'm willing
pretty
to.
much whatever his spellcasting ability is, or that.
Right, so as a move action, attempts a caster level check. DC equals 10 plus the item level if the source is an item. With the caster's level, if the light comes from a spell and a success, the light emitted from the target sword is lowered by 1 hour, blah blah blah. Right, okay, cool. So, I mean, I guess I'll just make a mysticism check. Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let me find out if these are public or private. Cool. I'm just going to do this. I've set him back to being private. Let's find out. Okay, yeah. He nailed it. It's fine. He got a 38, just so you know.
Jesus.
Dang.
Yeah, so like, you start shining brightly. Do you do anything or say anything or what? Like, what do you...
I probably just say, "Where are we?" And it's really annoyed.
Yeah, and like, you can hear him just like laugh at that, and then you see a lot of the light bend in towards him. Like, pulling it off of the walls and curling into him, and you just see like all the kind of the wear and tear from him slowly start repairing. What do you do? So we have this cool visual of you in a room, in this dark room, hissing heat around the walls, your light kind of shining from this kind of small mystic rat man, all bend like tendrils into him as he slowly just kind of maniacally laughs a bit as he's like looking better and better.
Man, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a reason I gave him this ability. Let's put it that way. I just need to go edit the text so it doesn't think he's a different creature, that's all.
I guess he'd just stop and just walk over to Wesland and just look at him, kind of like look him over.
So like you stop casting light, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. And like you hear him like exhale and like hit the ground, and you see him obviously as the light fades and like your eyes slowly adjust and the hissing stops and the room's so much harder to breathe in, and he hits the ground and he's just like, ah, maybe you are better than the Vesk. And there's like 2 tones to that voice.
Nintendo.
Oh.
Don't make me server mute you, Colin.
Oh my god. Yes. He would just look at him and be like, "Whoa, what was that?"
He like, as he's like kind of like on all fours in front of you, he kind of looks up. Like his eyes don't look kind of bloodshot anymore. Like his like facial hair, like half of it's gone, and this kind of weird kind of like as if somebody just rubbed their hand over someone's face really quickly and that somehow shaved them. And he looks up at you, and he just kind of smirks and goes, "Can you do that again?"
I think he'd take like a moment and then start glowing, just like not as fully bright as previously because it was very intense.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Starlight form is
on or off.
Yeah, it does say you transform yourself into blazing starlight.
All right, that's okay. We'll go for it again then. That's fine.
Like, it's not like you get a dimmer switch with it.
Yeah, so I think he would do it again, but he'd take a moment and he'd kind of feel a bit nervous, but he's also more curious.
Yeah. So yeah, as you like start like glowing light again, more of it's bent towards him now. Like it doesn't even reach the walls this time, except the floor beneath you. That starts to hiss, and again, like he's just kind of staring at you the whole time. His eyes are pure black to absorb all this light. It's probably quite intimidating. You see this like pure black-eyed man like staring back at you, as he's absorbing the light, and you see like his face all kind of go back to that pristine, sharp, clean-shaven way that he had. Like his hair is all fixed again. Like even like when you kind of notice, maybe like you stop casting the light after like a few moments, and you notice like we have that like after image of like light burn on the lens of the camera. It flickers in, and his suit and everything is like in pristine condition. And he just like smirks and he's like, "Aren't you wonderful?"
Zigg would kind of like do that sort of like nervous sort of smile, just kind of, you know, I'm smiling because I think I'm supposed to smile at this point.
Yeah. And he smirks at you and he's like, "Shall we get out of here?" And he puts his hand out to you.
I guess he takes his hand. He's like, I'm not messing with it.
Yeah, so like we have him like standing now. He takes your hand, and then he puts his other hand out towards like where the camera is, like kind of shooting this from, and then a massive blast of light comes from his hand. Let's see, what did we get? Cool. So yeah, and he just smacks into the wall and creates a big kind of hole in the wall. With this like burst of like light that even you have to kind of shield your eyes to. And yeah, we cut and fade there from you guys. We go back to Lyko.
I predicted this. In the ancient texts.
I was gonna just say that scene was fucking awesome, by the way.
So good.
So yeah, so we go back to you, and like maybe we get the part where like you start heading into like the park, and then she kind of does that thing where she's kind of like almost jauntily just strolling with you, until you just kind of get to a slightly more secluded kind of section where it maybe goes over a little bridge and there's some nice water beneath it, and you know, like it's all very artificial. Do you know what I mean? But that's the whole point. It's meant to give people the semblance of a place, that isn't just a cold metal box in space. And then like you just get to like a kind of almost gazebo-y thing, and she says, "Let's go there. I know it's cheesy." And then she kind of punches you in the arm, and then she runs off.
Scale slightly.
Well, she's run off by this point. She just runs off to the gazebo, like across the grass.
Okay.
Basically, that was the point I was saying. She's going to win the race. So yeah.
She's good. Yeah. I sigh and just sort of trudge after.
Yeah. And I think we like do that fade cut where you are both leaning against the gazebo. She's got ice cream. Do you have ice cream?
I feel like Lyko probably, if we start for ice cream, Lyko probably just devoured it in like a bite.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like she's eating ice cream. You've got like maybe just the rubbish of the ice cream in your hand, and she's just like really annoyingly making it last as long as drow possible, and elvenly possible, I guess is the term, right? And yeah, shit. So about the and she kind of just like, she's really like slow and patient because she keeps licking this goddamn ice cream, and she turns and she's like, the
Spice cream.
yeah, it's spice cream. The spice cream must flow. And yeah, she turns to you and she kind of looks at you, and she's got like ice cream on her nose, ice cream on her chin. Do you know what I mean? And then she's like, obviously she's clearly enjoying it. Maybe she doesn't treat herself to ice cream often. And then she looks up at you, and then she realizes that you're kind of expecting, like, you have clearly finished your ice cream, and she's like, oh. And then she stops and she's like, so do you know what was stolen then? And then you see her pull something off her like belt and then click a button, and it's like a little disc thing, and she throws it on the ground, and it just like the light on it turns blue. And like, this is just like an anti-surveillance device.
That's a good question. Do I know what was stolen then, or do I only know what was stolen from
I mean,
Manny?
do you remember what Escate said?
No, it would seem I do not.
Right, who remembers what Escate told the group? Come on, fellow players. Everybody frantically clicks on the YouTube link.
Consorting demons.
So
Yeah, they were dealing with
Off dragons.
she said she'd be in touch, and she wants to capture the Space Queen Dry lady.
But before
Not
that,
kill her.
she explained the vault. She said what was taken.
Oh yeah, she said the
This bodes well for solving
void
these
egg.
quests if you don't remember.
the void egg or the egg of the void or something.
There we go.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, right. No, sorry. I was confusing what she said with what Hermione said. Okay. Right. Yeah. Obviously, I do know that.
So
My
Hermione,
bad, yeah.
right, I'll just refresh. So she said this void egg thing,
Yes.
right? This horrible, powerful thing was taken.
And he was, I have been ripped off by the drow.
Hermione said a void artifact. So there was a very clear distinction between how they described it, because SK compared it to the solar egg.
Hmm.
He mentioned nothing of the solar egg. There you go.
Okay. And that's, yeah, because we did actually, there was conversation had regarding this, obviously, but I have not rewatched as much as I should, perhaps. Okay.
There,
yeah.
see this thing for everybody? Fill this out. Everybody needs to be filling this out. Everybody should be able to. So,
Okay.
make use of this. You all have access to the exact same file, so try not to like basically take it in turns and say when you're saving and whatnot, because you probably want to have a wee quest log of useful info so you don't forget stuff like that. Cool. So yeah, she asks you, do you know what was stolen?
Yeah, so, sorry, bear with me a second.
No worries.
Slightly
Rar.
Fra-
Rar and
the-
such. Bear noises.
frazzled. I'm not sure what would say to that.
Mm. Yeah, so she's just licking her ice cream, waiting for you to
Yeah,
respond. Yep. As if you're willing to say it. Also, like, I mean, it's,
I
it's fair to
will,
say you'll
just not-
you know about these anti-surveillance devices as well.
Yeah.
So you know it's probably
Um,
safer to speak now than it was before.
I'm just trying to
I think it's well to frame this as well. Maybe we've got that shot of like you and her, like we see it like from maybe below the steps up to the gazebo. You her leaning against the back of the gazebo, and then like in the far distance you've got the tall Abadar Corp on one side and the tall Aspis Consortium building on the other side. Way in the distance of the Absalom kind of like, I would say palisade, but it's not the right word. That word I never get right. Area. Plaza. There we go.
I think he would. Yeah. Actually, he will probably say something to that effect. Of. Yeah. We think we have a pretty good idea.
And then she just covers your nose in ice cream with her cone. And she does that and just covers your nose in ice cream and goes, well.
He closes his eyes and breathes for a second or two. Sort of,
Ice cream bubble.
yeah. And backhand wipes off his nose.
It's obviously Spinella flavour.
He well, void egg, some form of artifact of the void, or possibly
You see her
let's
like,
just say
she's got like her tongue like between her teeth and she's just shaking her head in that kind of, you fucking bastard. Like, but like,
it's
and then she kind of like, you just see like her entire body language is like, go and fuck yourself, like that attitude. But not like an attitude, and that kind of, she's annoyed that you know. You know?
it's we've been warned of a void dragon. It was all made out to be very apocalyptic.
And she just shakes her head and she's like, who's we? How do you know this? Who's oh.
I sort of, well, I don't know who you know about and who you don't, so maybe...
Well, apparently I know nothing compared to you, the amazing Lyko.
I've been working with a crew.
That must be new. Working with others.
A couple of you.
She like smirks at that because she knows that's like just a twist of a knife that you didn't need twisted.
I demonstrated leadership potential, or so I was told. But not that I'm the leader. We have a captain. He's a Vesk.
And she kind of like raises an eyebrow and she goes, "Right, so Vesk captain not murdering you, is it?" And she like does that thing where, "Is it?" As if you should know who she's talking about.
Yeah, it might be. He has a reputation.
She like opens her comlink and it's her like the propaganda posters from the diplomatic corps of Zora is her like her comm wallpaper.
Yeah, that's the guy.
And she like double taps her wrist and the comm kind of image goes away and she's like, "What's he like?" "No, don't tell me. Never meet your heroes."
I won't tell you, I suppose, if you really don't want to know.
Harsh cut to like Zora steaming, being shot by goblins in the lift. Cuts back.
There's a group of us that have been working together under the captaincy of...
Is this a Black Ops thing?
Nothing that official.
And she's looking down at her ice cream that's clearly fell since she got excited about the Vesk thing, and she's now like looking sad that her ice cream's on the ground.
Whatever the case, we've been involved with this very recently as a result of having worked with Aspis before. We we try and work in the grey market. I'm aware.
You're working with the grey.
I know who. Oh, sorry.
She says you're working with the grey as well.
No,
Why?
No, not the grey. You know the not the.
I look at that. She just like she like
side.
her hands go on her hips and she's like, "Are you messing with me, Lyko? Did you phone me up just to have this date?"
I don't really date. Since
And she's just like having that completely like playful stoic standoff look with you.
Yeah, that I try not to think about that.
And then she leans in and she's like, does it still...
Oh my god. Not sure which that is.
Neither am I. And she leans back. And she goes, "So, you know more about what I'm not meant to know. And, you know, more people that know about it telling you than what the actual stewards know."
Here's the thing: they tell us enough to make it sound like we know something, but we know nothing. We know what the thing that people are looking for is. We know that.
Sure you're not still working for the stewards? And she laughs because obviously that's a dig at the fact that the lack of information's a bitch.
Hey, I work with you guys sometimes. I'm not.
And she kind of just looks you up and down. And like, yeah.
Look, I'm stuck. Something occurred. We don't fully understand. We were somehow teleported. This Isabel Furler was involved. There were dragons. Now it seems to me that there are at least 3 factions all wrapped up in this nonsense. And who knows exactly how much of what we're hearing from one or the other is true. When it agrees, it mostly does, but why do I trust Abadar Corp? Because they're the good guys? Yeah.
She laughs at that, like, good guys, the bank.
Yeah. exactly. The other guys, yeah, absolutely. I've worked with Espis long enough, and hell, worked with you guys long enough to know that they are all bastards. But
And then she punches you playfully in the shoulder and she goes, Aspis contribute to the steward pension fund. Abadar charge us the same tax rate. And she stands with one hand on her hip. And
yeah.
At that point, her comm starts bleeping red. You know this type of beep. This is an official, oh dear God, pay attention to this now. And then it bleeps and she looks at it and she's like, what? And then she smashes with her heel the surveillance device on the ground. And it shatters. And you hear that little kind of electronic kind of noise. And then she looks at you and she's like, try not to be in this. She double taps her wrist and it pops up and it's just massive red station-wide alert right there. And then she's like, fuck. And then all of the klaxons across Absalom Station start going off. And we'll take our break there. So yeah, I would like everyone to have enjoyed part 1. Thank you very much, no choice. And we'll see you for part 2. Goodbye all of our listeners.
Goodbye, listener.